Here we go again. Welcome. Well, this is exciting. So we've done the Thursday night show for a while here on Fox League, and now the review on Sunday nights. A little bit of an investing perspective as well. I know you've had plenty of review with Matty Johns, but we'll look at things from a slightly different angle. We do it. Get them on side. We've got the podcast. We've got the shows on KO and YouTube, and it's a pleasure to be here. And we'll be here each and every Sunday night to look back at the round number 3. Joel Caine, Sean Ormerod are here, the usual crew. I just love that we're slipstreaming like Cold Trickle. We're just slipstreaming behind Matty Johns again. It's like twice a lap. We're just getting in behind him, taking that big lead-in audience and just getting in. Fabulous game this afternoon, Joel. We're coming off the last game, but maybe we have different perspectives. I absolutely love the fight of Parramatta. I know it wasn't a perfect game and Canterbury had to fight hard. There was something special about that contest this afternoon.
I'll tell you what, they were brave. It was a slippy game, I thought. And we thought the same about Canberra. Those teams that go on the road, we warned you about that. You go on the road. I said that I was the best at going towards a buffet. And it's hard to get up after a big win. The Warriors, they took on the Roosters after a big win. They found the buffet. Canberra had to go to Manly likewise. Who was the other team?
Can't remember.
Newcastle Knights.
Can we just make sure, unlike Josh Curran earlier today, that we do this in the spirit of television and the spirit of entertainment, please, Dan?
I'd never heard
Spirit of the game.
I'd never heard that penalty before in my life. I've heard spirit of the game, but for that specific incident, because he called out to Matt Doorey, the former teammate. Yeah. This is unbelievable. Isn't that what you're supposed to do?
I think
Isn't
because
gamesmanship all about
he was
it?
downtown, so he was out of play. I think if he's behind the play of the ball and he says it, maybe it's fair game because he was standing where the referee was or next to him. So the player's perspective, I can sort of understand it, but I'm same with you, never heard it.
So you can do that. You can make the ref. You can make the player think you're the ref as long as you're not offside.
I think so.
So Munster can call for a pass or a kick like he did it was Munster, wasn't it, on Thursday night? That's fine because he was onside. Is this what you're saying?
No, well, he's just calling for the ball. He's not being the referee. Yes. That's play on. No, I found it strange. Never heard it before. There we go.
Can't give a penalty for that, Joel.
I love it.
How'd the punters do it?
You would have, but you're on.
You can see players, can't you? Like it's play 5. Set, restart.
How... We'll get the specifics and where we went wrong and where we went right. How'd the punters go generally? Good week or bad week?
Well, it was a tough week for same-game multi-punters, although it's been a very, very good start to the year, so doesn't always go their way because there's a couple of low-scoring games on Friday night and the Melbourne Storm-Penrith game, not a very friendly SGM game, that one. So it was good results. That's okay. We're slowly clawing a bit back then.
SGM sounds like something Paul Giamatti and his wife were into on Billions, but boy, that show went bad, didn't it? It had such high potential, Billions. You know what I've started watching, Joel, and we'll get to the footy in a second.
White Lotus?
No.
Come
on, Dan.
Righteous Gemstones. I'm 4 seasons behind. It's pretty good.
Is it?
It's pretty good.
I'll write that down.
That's a binge show. That's a binge
Write it
show.
down.
We support our own here. Let's get to some of the predictions. And the thing about the Sunday night show, we're now accountable. You know, we normally do these on a Wednesday or a Thursday, and then by the time we get to the next Wednesday or Thursday, we're hoping you forget. Well, you don't want to forget this from last night.
Yeah, I think the Gold Coast Titans are a spoon candidate, but in saying that, I'm picking them 13 plus.
Never in doubt, Joel. That was hands and heels the whole way.
Yep, tailor-made, first game back at home, such a long off-season, injuries for the Knights, it was just...
Not sure if it had a lot to do with watching the Dolphins-West Tigers game, which was before that. The pace that game was played at, they looked like 2 very, very good footy sides going at it. The pace was just on from the get-go.
What, Titans, Knights?
Yeah.
Oh, they're not as good as Dolphins.
No, but they're just...
Please,
No, I'm saying that the speed that the Dolphins-West Tigers game that was played at was so slow in comparison to... And you see the really good footy sides, everything's at pace. Yeah. And the Titans had to withstand a bit of pressure early doors. They did that, and then you turn it into points. So, well done.
Newcastle, they might be 2-1, but they're struggling to score some points again. They're in the same... I think it's 42 points in 3 games. Yep. And once Ponga gets shut down, they're finding it hard going. So that was the bet amongst the 3 of us. Talk about SGM. And I want to blame one person. all of you who are on Sandstone Street, is that where we're going, Sean Ormerod?
That's where we're going, Dan.
You can blame Sean Ormerod because he did it in our WhatsApp group. He does it all the time. He counts his chickens. He puts up the ticks before the judges have put it in the semaphore. And what happened?
Well, it was called back. As soon as I hit send on the second green tick, I saw the referee come on screen, which that is bad news. How often is a try awarded when the referee goes on screen?
The
belated referee. 99.9% of the time is it a try?
Yes.
Or a no try, sorry.
Yes.
Well, that happened.
And by the way, look, there's no out these days on WhatsApp, so had you deleted that message and none of us saw it, it says Sean has deleted a
I
message.
wouldn't have seen it.
Are you going?
No, but it still says
Message deleted.
Sean regrets doing something. That's what it basically
Are you
says.
going to carry through with your promise of what you're going to call me on national television
Not the
as a
first
result
show.
of that?
We've got
No?
people
Okay.
trying to edit this and turn this around.
Fair enough.
First word starts with F, and the second word starts and ends with wit. That's what I said I would call you.
Use your imagination.
I never said it. A couple of other, his head-to-head, not only did he get the 13 plus, but his best bet head-to-head. And my over-under dogs, never in doubt, dogs and eels, it was 46.5. It came in at, 24, and we were 2 out of 3. Isn't it funny, Joel? I've struggled with best bets to start the season, but when we're on the big stage, the big players, they step it up.
They do.
Meat Loaf, 2 out of 3. Remember this happened? This happened last year when we first went on Fox League for the preview show.
Yeah.
It was going okay before that. All of a sudden, the lights get turned on.
All right.
How many
Pressure.
weeks?
What was your best bet?
Dolphins, head-to-head.
Ooh.
Awful.
Boys, how many more weeks do I have to keep just getting us over the mark?
How
And you
about
keep
you
botching it for me.
Do your plug here, please.
Okay, this is the big plug. What about this? Hits and misses for round 3 of the National Rugby League. Let's do this. Alrighty. Let's go to our man Zarafa on the feed. What about this bloke, Dan? Currently, 1,747 followers. That's about to go kaboom because he's flying. What about this? This little same gamer, SGM, if you don't mind. Paul Alamotti. So he's gone with the 4 wingers ultimately.
Yeah.
Paul Alamotti, first, second, or third.
Yeah.
Brian Tu'u. Grant Anderson, Xavier Coates, who I think is the best winger in the competition at the moment. $152.
That's
22 people copied our man Zarafa on the feed. Zarafa.
22 brave souls.
This time next week you'll have 2,000 plus. Bravo, well played.
152 to 1. They're actually really good odds. There's nothing there that's out of the ordinary.
It was
Well, the key
the
is-
first, second, or third.
That's
Was the one
Alamotti
that-
being on the wing probably
Yeah.
was the big tick there.
Sorry, I stuffed up at the top of the show. SGM friendly result Thursday night. It was the Friday games.
Yes.
that
Well
went our
done.
way.
What about the first try scorer?
Oh, Nafahu White.
Ooh.
I tell you, there is some value at the moment. You're seeing a lot of very hard to defend around the post. These dummy halves who are picking off front rowers in and around the posts, it is hard to handle. So if you can find them, as people did, 49 people backed him.
So you assume a front rower, particularly on a big name front rower scores, that's not for Neil Blake, you think, oh, everyone rips up their tickets. 49 were on him. Well done. So well done to you. And you can get our tips on the feed. You can get, what's his name? Zarafa.
Zarafa.
That's not the racing guy, is it?
No, it's
No,
not.
no, that's not the
So
boxer either.
Going his own
Okay,
way.
Michaels, that's exactly right. There you go. Follow all our tips on the
Punching out winners, though.
feed. Sean, you've got the next segment.
Yeah, it's important to some, Dan. It's everyone's favourite.
Well, he's
Here,
made
this
the
one.
kick important to some.
Now, this is important to some, is a key moment in a game, but particularly when it decides a potential bet. But for every yin, there's always yang, Dan. So every loser, there's a winner somewhere else. We're going to start with Jackson Purdue intercept try versus the Broncos. Let me set this one up as we see the vision. The margin in this game, 14 points right now. Broncos up by 14. The line in the game, 16.5 or 17.5 or thereabouts. But there's also 13 plus in play.
Yeah.
The Broncos are going to score, which covers the line. Hits the turf, and Jackson Purdue just says, what do you say, Shug? Tata Tatiana. What does Dan Ginnane say?
Jackson Purdue said to those who collect on the 13 plus, Jackson Purdue don't.
Yeah.
So that was a big one, important to some. Jackson Purdue. I may have been holding a Broncos minus ticket there, so I wasn't overly rapt to see
What
that.
was the line?
Did Reece Walsh
16
dive
and a half.
too early then? Surely.
Yeah, at the ankles.
Yeah, surely
maybe.
10 more metres he gets a chance at him, doesn't he?
Maybe. Bit of an off night again,
Yeah.
Reece Walsh. One to watch.
Cronulla
The second game.
sauce.
So let me set this one up. We're going to watch this. This is the Sharks are up by 20. The line on this occasion, 16.5. So if you've backed the Sharkies, you're in a winning spot right now. Couple late tries, including this one. Quick tap by big arms Jamie Humphreys. He just says, see you later. Scores, converts it. So that's them covering the line now. Bunnies plus 16.5. So the margin here now, Dan, is 14, right? Trindle somehow gets the ball down the other end. We're about to see this in a minute. So the margin's 14. The line at the start of the week in this game, minus 14.5.
Oh,
Tricky
my
Trindle,
goodness.
yes please.
Oh, no.
Wow.
15 points.
Wow.
As they say in
That
the
was
classics, important to some.
Such
Dan.
an unnecessary field goal.
Meaningless field goal, but meaningless
Such
to a lot of people.
unnecessary field goal. 14 to 15. Wow, there you go. All right. Boy, we're just full of new segments for our new show, including this one. All right. Let's go. 1 minute on each topic, please. Who are you more confident on after the grand final rematch? I'll preface this. Storm $3 for the premiership. Penrith about $5.50 the last time we looked.
I'm going Melbourne, but I have to say I think Penrith are at a bettable price.
Yes.
$5.50 now for the comp. Good time to buy in.
Saw nothing from either that would make you want to hit the eject button, really. Cleary obviously goes off after 5. Everyone's Penrith tickets at that point were pretty much thrown up in the air, put a line through it, and they dug deep, which is what you want to see. The good teams, it gets bandied around, the statement, she'll next man up, but they just epitomise that. Saw a few good things for the replacements. Blaise Talangi had a few good moments, but slip around a foot. Jack Cole, his first half wasn't great, but did come good in the second half. He looks more of a traditional halfback.
Best thing that ever happened to him.
Which he can't play, with Cleary going off,
Yep.
but he can't play that role. I think I'd still want to be with Penrith.
Penrith are equal with Brisbane. I find that they're over the odds at $5.50, and they had what we call an English cricket team victory. They lost on the scoreboard, but they were the moral victors. 2 in a row for the Warriors. At home.
Yep.
Not sure about the opposition. Are you ready to back them, Sean, with confidence?
Well, the key there is with confidence, no. And you've got to pick your battles with the Warriors. We're on them a couple of weeks ago because they were big outsiders at home, but then all of a sudden they were slight favourites against the Chooks. I know they won that game pretty comfortably in the end. It was a seesaw battle for a long time. Not with confidence. The Chooks made a lot of errors in that game.
Yeah, the other thing is too, teams got to learn that you beat up on a side in Australia. If you go to a night game in New Zealand, you cannot go with that same game plan. Manly did it, Roosters did it, different kettle of fish.
Yeah. You got to knuckle down, don't you?
Yep.
All right, so look, I think, can we agree on this? The Warriors are closer to the 23 version than the 24 version. Are you ready to declare? I think they're better than last year, and last year they were way off the pace.
Yeah.
I think they're, put it this way, I don't think they're 2023 yet. No. They don't have Fanua Blake.
Okay, you know the difference? These kids they got coming through, Halasima, absolute gun, Vaimonga, gun.
Yes.
Yeah.
Halasima, he's a serious player. Now, this is the question I'm looking forward to most, right? West Tigers, I looked yesterday. So about $2.63 to make the 8, which seems thin. That's the key, $2.63. I don't think they're going to quite get there. I'll start with you, former West Tiger champion.
No.
Are they a good investment at that price?
No, they're not. No, they're not. I got hammered for people saying, how are the Roosters going to make the 8? The Roosters are a better team than this team, right? They are, and I love my Tigers. But you can't ask the next question and then have this question before it. We'll get to that.
So that's the key for me as well.
Yeah.
This is a no, and it's going to be the same answer. Will answer question 3 here for me. The Finns in that game made the West Tigers look very good. I couldn't be on the Tigers to make the 8.
I'll cop $2.63 not being rid of it. You can't say with confidence they're better than the Roosters.
No, they're not.
Nah.
The current Roosters or the best case Roosters?
The Roosters that we're going to have for most of the year.
Should the Dolphin... I can't believe this, Sean. As we move on to the next one. Actually, as host, I override. I can end fast money early. We don't have to go the full minute here. Dolphins. Favourites for the spoon. Favourites for the spoon. Come on, Sean. $4.50. That is an overreaction if ever I've seen one.
So everything I saw from that game yesterday afternoon had all the hallmarks of a spoon team. Some of their efforts in defence, there was the line speed was completely non-existent. They had so many chances to win the game, couldn't put it away. I want to ask you, Shug, how does Hammer get himself into these football games? Because he seems to be watching from afar. He's
frustrated.
He's watching at 10 paces away.
Yeah, I don't know the answer. I don't know if Christian Wolf's got the answer, but I think they are right now the spoon favourites.
What, ahead of North Queensland?
Yeah.
Ahead of North Queensland?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, their effort on the weekend showed you they have got some fight in them. It's taken them 3 weeks to get there, but they showed a lot against that Broncos pack.
Hypothetical to finish. You can't bet on Dally M. if you could, would you like to be on a front rower?
Yes.
Now, you would have Haas,
Payne
you would have
Haas.
Big Tino, and you would have Terrell May. Terrell May might end up being in front by the end of this weekend because he's been a star for them.
Payne Haas.
But you would be happy.
Absolutely.
Front rowers don't win this award.
I'd rather take the field than be on a front rower.
You've brought a lot of... I know. Oh, you brought a lot of negative...
Were you asking me a question?
I'm not happy with... Can I change the subject?
You asking me a question or you're not asking me a question?
I'm asking you a question.
I would not rather be on the front rower.
You've been a hater. You've been a hater.
No, I haven't.
You're a hater on the Warriors. You're a hater on the Tigers. You're a hater on the Dolphins. And you're a hater on front rowers.
Okay.
Stuck up for the Cowboys, eh?
Haas...
Friends with the Cowboys.
Oh, his mate is Todd Payton.
Please.
I thought this after round one. I saw that in person when Haas destroyed the Roosters. Best front row performance I've ever seen with my own eyes, doesn't mean it was the best, was Andrew Fafita in Origin 1 2017.
Oh, yeah, that's a good
And I think Payne Haas has reached those levels, albeit not state of origin, but the way he is destroying games, and Fafita was a great player, but a one-off at that high level. This was a man-of-the-match performance that we're now seeing. Look at this, bustling, impossible to put down, offloading. Tedesco typically great in this game as well. But what we're seeing from Payne Haas, we're now talking Lazarus, peak Sivanasiva and Webke. It's because of that offload, it's added so much to his game as we continue to watch Fafita.
So Fafita is different to Webke and Sivanasiva. They didn't do what he does. Payne Haas can do similar things.
Yeah.
Is that fair?
Absolutely, it's fair. And he can do it faster as well. That try he scored the other night was it's unbelievable.
That's one of the best. I mean, I forgot about that Fafita performance. What a performance. But Haas's performance is just about the best I've ever seen from a front rower.
72 minutes he played. And that wasn't a 72 minutes on the front foot. As I said, the Cowboys actually turned up. They were the dominant forward pack for that game.
Grubbers went through. He's diving on it.
Yeah, he played fullback at one point. Here's a try.
Here's the try. Just drink this in. I mean, it's pretty pedestrian defence, but...
Jason Taumalolo would hate seeing that back.
Yeah, you think Scott Drinkwater would like it? Did he do a Deion Sanders, I made a business decision?
The Hurricane wouldn't want to watch. In fact, all three of them don't want to watch that back anyway. But I just quickly thought, where have I seen speed and footwork like that from a front row? And only one man popped into mind.
And me too.
Big, gorgeous George Rose with this little number here. Look at the speed and the footwork here. Bang, left step.
Evasiveness,
push,
power.
And the twist, bang.
Reach. Yes.
Big, gorgeous.
He was a good player, George Rose.
Inside shoulder. Great work, Georgie. Find the inside shoulder.
Is that Sattler returned inside out, your mate?
No, that wasn't him. That was
Ben Galea?
No.
While you think about that, no, we're not playing it again. Buying or selling? Right. Sean, what are you buying?
I'm buying some huge efforts by injured players we saw in the Warriors-Roosters game. Now, a lot of people were thinking that Roger injured himself trying to save the 40-20 in an earlier play. In this play they're about to see. This is the try-saving tackle that he made on Dom Young. But he'd already torn his hammy off the bone, apparently, before this effort. You see him diving for Dom Young, gets his ankle, saves a try. This was huge. And then Spencer Leniu, look at that finger. That's at right angles. So he goes down on his haunches here with a busted finger. And then the very next play, he tucks it under his arm and goes, bang, 2 players. Okay, see you later. Takes 3 more. Bang. With a finger that was going at Brian Fletcher. Set of angles there. Tough stuff. I'm glad it's Emmett, not me.
Chris Hyington was the one he got the inside shoulder of.
Oh, very good. You were not going to let that go.
My mind was spinning and calculating.
You were not. What did you see after?
Yeah, one more. Try July is obviously always good with a celebration after try. We don't often see celebrations after tackles, Joel.
Yeah,
but boy, did I like this. Watch this. Bus gets him, and then I need someone to tell me what he's actually doing here. He puts a sword away.
Oh, yeah.
And then
Is it a seatbelt? Is it a seatbelt?
No, I think it's a sword into the holster.
Back into the holster.
That's a beauty.
And then stands over Paul Sanders Smith and just says, yes, please. Thanks,
Sean, do you have fears? Nice work. Do you have fears that Christian Tuipulotu might have killed Try July?
Oh, it's good. It's a good question. Maybe.
One to think about.
Happy to blame him if we don't go through with it.
Joel, are you buying?
I'm going to sell. No, I'm buying. I'm buying. But you reminded me of something. It is really hard as a commentator for a great of the club, Ali Lauatiti, having a nephew, Ali Leotawa. That is really hard to say on the fly, so I'm selling that. But what I'm buying is this. Paul Alamotti, what about his career ascending? This is a palm. Yes, that's Munster. That's Munster.
Boom.
Bye-bye. Yes, that's Harry Grant. See ya.
Boom.
What about the Pap? I'm buying him too. He's a gem, the Pap. Alamotti.
Alamotti's career elevation in his last...
Look at this. Ta-da.
But think about where he was, right, and where he is now. In his last 4 games, right, grand final,
Yep.
he really arrived in the grand final, and now very much a must in their starting lineup.
He slowed down for that fend. He almost invited Munster to get
That's
close and went,
brilliant.
see you later at the exact same time.
Selling,
No, that's me, mate.
Sell something,
What are
Sean.
you
You're in a
buying or
mood to
selling?
sell.
I told you I'm selling the
we need to have a
Ali
sell next week.
Leotiti and Ali Leotawa. That's bloody
we
hard.
need to have a proper sell next week because I'm also buying, and that's the NRL's reaction to the WA media. It was in the paper today. There it is. What a great. Can we just drink that in? That's a
That is
beautiful graphic in
outstanding.
the Sunday Telegraph and the Courier, mate. But the whinge is that the NRL is upset, and they're letting people know that the WA media, Channel 7 backed, and of course Channel 7, owned by Kerry Stokes, AFL aligned, is running a campaign in the West Australian, the media, the newspaper there. And the media, I love WA and I love Perth. The people there are top notch, but the media there, it's got a country town hick mentality. And that if there's any problem, East. It's blame the East.
Yeah.
Everything's the East's fault. West is best. And when in doubt, just give it to the people on the other side of the country. And there's no doubt there's been a campaign being run against NRL. And it's been led by the Channel 7 people. And good for the NRL. I don't know what will come of it. Good for the NRL for fighting back. And
You going to Perth for Origin?
yes.
Very
looking forward
careful
to
with
it.
those words when you step
I like
off
them.
the-
I
on the
like the
tarmac.
Perth people.
Okay, you've-
Every time I go to Perth, they ask me when are the Reds coming back. They want it to be the Reds, by the way, not the Bears. But anyway, I think they'll be comfortable with what they get, and that ground needs to be upgraded. The NRL is right for complaining and negotiating.
Hick mentality is what I took out of that.
The media. We'll look at next week's lines and we'll see what's going to go up and what's going to go down. You are watching the first edition of Sunday Get 'em Onside. All right, round 3 might be done, but never too early to look ahead at the next round. In fact, we're going to bring up some odds now. These are going to change. We're looking at the lines specifically. It starts with South Sydney and the Panthers, and what we want to do is work out which lines are going to change. That's the key here, because these lines, a lot of them will not hold. Sean, what is your initial forecast? You're the trader here. Because I've got to tell you, Dolphins 13.5 looks way too big. I know you two have got them for the spoon. That looks way too big against the Broncos.
You called that game, didn't you?
They weren't that. That was a good game. That was a better game than you're giving it credit for.
Maybe my wallet is speaking through that result just a touch. My wheelhouse, as a lot of people who watch Get 'em Onside will probably know, home underdogs. And I think when you throw in the fact that Jerome Hughes is going to be out for the Melbourne Storm, plus 7.5 for the Dragons looks big to me. I think we might see it push the other way.
I think the Dogs might start in single figures, maybe 9.5. I think the Cowboys game might start closer to Pick'em. They're the big key ones for me.
So the Bulldogs one's interesting. How do they get 10.5? They're a good team. I understand. Burton, Kickow. Sharks' ability to absolutely slaughter teams is not there. Yesterday they should have won by 50. Right? They had South 26-0. This is why I didn't take them as my best bet, because I figured they're going to go to sleep. It's a lazy Saturday afternoon, and that's exactly what happened. The Dogs can't be 10.5.
Saturday night as well, so maybe some dew around. I think, if it was during the day, I might be a little bit scared of that. But the one thing you can trust at the Dogs, and we saw it today, even without the ball, they can knuckle down and defend their line.
Future forecast, just keep an eye on tomorrow what price Jaden Campbell, top point scorer, goes up.
What you were going to say, what
Try
price
scorer,
Jesse
just-
Arthurs
What
for
price
top
do I
try
need,
scorer?
Shawnee? 15 plus, I'll have a play.
Okay.
What did you get Jesse Arthurs at for top try scorer?
Tipped on this very program at $91.
How did you bet on Jesse Arthurs when he scored 5 tries all of last year? He's already matched last year's output.
Sing it, Joel. Sing us out.
We
Hasn't
need
won
more
yet,
answers,
please.
less questions, please.
Please,
Thank you.
please, it's round number 3.
Jesse, paint a picture.
Okay. Can you do the Carly Simon song if you're going to sing Jesse? Get us Thursday, Matty John's show. You can get the full podcast as well, which drops on Wednesday afternoon. What fun that was. Gee, it went quick. We'll be back to do it all again next week after Matty Johns, but please, whatever you do, do it responsibly.
What's gambling really costing you? For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.